This $5,000 gaming PC just came to shop for a third time in the past year with the exact same issue. And it'll probably end up back here in my shop in 3 months if Corsair doesn't fix this issue. So this Corsair Vengeance i8200 pre-built was in my shop just a few months ago with some crazy instability problems. Like any game that had the preload shaders would just crash. It seriously was like clockwork. And that was the exact same behavior we were seeing on the system about 12 months ago, the first time it was here. And for anyone curious, both those issues ended up being fried CPUs thanks to the Intel instability problems, more on that in just a minute. So when our customer started experiencing these same issues once again with games crashing constantly, he thought there was no way that he was seeing the same problem, so he tried everything including swapping his power supply to something a little more beefy from going 1,000 watts all the way up to I think 1,600 watts because he thought maybe it's power related, and even tried reinstalling Windows, which is where he ended up getting stuck. And although Windows did technically install just fine, the problem came every time you went to install the NVIDIA drivers, where we'd get this 7-zip CRC error. So what's causing that? Well, although most of the time when the NVIDIA drivers won't install on your system, it's usually GPU related, that's not what's happening here, as this GPU is perfectly fine. And even if you did have a bad GPU, you'd likely never see an error like this, as this is what's called a package extraction error, which basically means the system can't extract the compressed or zipped package that stores all the files for the installation to take place, which is basically the same error that the system was getting when it wasn't working previously, where it couldn't preload shaders. That's also an extraction process. And failure with that extraction process is almost always a sign of a failed CPU, as unzipping a package like that is almost entirely CPU dependent. In fact, it'll often stress your CPU to 100% usage. And I can prove that this is the same CPU issue we were facing the last couple times by pulling off our CPU cooler so we can pull out our customer's CPU so we can throw in a spare testing one that I know that works, just to see that when we install the NVIDIA app, we no longer get that error, and this time it actually installs. And with our customer CPU out, we're even able to install the latest GPU driver. So it looks like we got ourselves just another bad i9-14900K, which is crazy to even say because this was replaced just 3 months ago. So how did the CPU fail already? Well, just like the other two issues, 2 words: Intel instability. If you haven't been following the PC DIY industry lately, what I'm referring to is the fact that Intel's 13th and 14th generation i7 and i9s have been plagued with an instability problem because of a bad microcode that shipped with the CPUs, which caused these CPUs to receive too much voltage from the motherboard, causing a lot of them to fry prematurely. But enough, in fact, where I see about 1 to 2 of these failures a week. With that said, not only did Intel extend the warranty on all their CPUs up to 5 years, they also technically patched the issue through a brand new microcode. But here's the catch: that microcode update had to be rolled out through a BIOS update through your motherboard manufacturer, which is where surprisingly Corsair comes into play, because even though they're not a motherboard manufacturer, as this motherboard, which is an Asus Z790-P Wi-Fi board, was obviously produced by Asus, which is why I honestly almost missed it until I realized this is a special board, or rather it just has a special BIOS, which I only found out when I ended up booting the system up into the BIOS, when I noticed it was on BIOS version 9046, which according to the Corsair website for this particular pre-built is the latest BIOS version available. However, this is where things get interesting. If you look right next to the naming scheme on Corsair's website, it says 0x12B microcode, which if you're not familiar was one of the early microcodes that Intel did release to initially solve this problem, like about this time last year, but that's not the latest version that actually solves all the issues, because we should be looking for 0x12F, which came out I think in May of this year. So if Corsair doesn't have the latest microcode, you're probably thinking, why not go to Asus's website, because they're the motherboard manufacturer, which is a great point until you go to their website for this particular Z790-P Wi-Fi motherboard, where you'll see that the version numbers are completely different. You'll see that the one that came out with the 0x12F is version 1820. That naming difference should have been a red flag for me right away, as it's really rare for the naming scheme to not be in chronological order. And although that may not seem like a big deal, it should have been a red flag for me, because the second I tried to download that file, put it on a flash drive, and then flash it on this particular motherboard, it recognized the file but then said it wasn't compatible with our motherboard. And if you're wondering why that would be, well, it turns out the reason why the naming schemes are different is because Corsair is using something called an OEM BIOS, which is a specially modified version of the original BIOS that sometimes pre-built manufacturers like to use to basically have more control and prevent prevent consumers from basically tweaking with their pre-built. As by Corsair locking down the BIOS to their particular liking, they're able to go ahead and restrict some of the features inside the BIOS to limit their liability for warranty claims that are customer involved. And the other thing that ended up giving away that this was an OEM BIOS is the fact that if you try to disable the XMP profile by setting it to disabled and clicking save and reset, the entire system when it restarts freaks out, as the powered button goes absolutely nuts for about 5 minutes before the system finally restarts back into the BIOS with XMP enabled once again, which Corsair probably did so that people don't complain about their system not getting the speed that they paid for. But the problem is, because you can't write over the Corsair version with the one from ASUS, we can't get the microcode update, which means even if we replace our CPU, it's likely gonna fail again. Because we don't have the proper microcode, and because I thought maybe I'd missed something, I do that all the time and I'll admit it, I went ahead and looked everywhere on Corsair's website, couldn't find anything, so I went ahead and reached out to them 2 different ways. First by email, which honestly was a terrible experience. I still haven't gotten a true response back via email. All I heard was basically they asked what BIOS version I was running. I told them 9046, and then the follow-up email was, I'll check on it and see if there's anything else. Never heard back. It's been a few days at this point. And then because it felt like I was waiting forever to get a response back, I went ahead and found a phone number online, which was kind of hard to find. But when I did, I was actually able to speak to somebody fairly quick. And the guy on the phone was really nice, but he was very limited on what he could actually do. All he really told me was they know it's an issue, and the fact that they're working on a new BIOS version, they just haven't rolled it out yet and they're waiting on their engineers. Which, Corsair, I hope you're watching this video. As somebody who's a huge fan of your products, and I recommend it to a lot of people, I think that response that they haven't been able to get a BIOS update 5 months later, because that update came out in May, and now we're in October, that's pathetic. This PC is $5,000 and you're frying the CPUs every time we put a new one inside. That's not okay. Please fix the issue. I know that Intel was the original problem. However, if you don't roll out the BIOS update because you restrict us from being able to install it, well, what can the consumer end up doing? That's just gonna have the same problem over and over again. Giving our customer really the only option they can do is to move away from your motherboard, because at this point, it doesn't sound like we have any idea when that is gonna be released. So Corsair, I beg you, please just release that BIOS update. I think it'll fix a lot of these issues. It should solve these CPUs from frying themselves. I did try that CPU in another system with the BIOS update, so I do know it is fried. But in this situation, come on, like really, this is not okay. There's no reason for you not to have that BIOS update out yet. 5 months is long enough, and if you have to work with ASUS, make ASUS get involved at this point. Or give us a way to go ahead and reflash outside of your OEM BIOS. It doesn't matter if we restrict it or we even have to tune down the settings. I don't care, just give us a way so we're not gonna fry these CPUs, putting more e-waste in the world. So I got a little heated there, but Corsair, please just listen to me. I just want this to be fixed so that we don't have this issue, not only for my customer, but for the other hundreds or thousands of customers that bought these same systems that spent $5,000 on the machine. Let's fix the issue. If I can help in any way, sending any kind of results to you, let me know. I want to help. I just want to make this happen. I love you guys as a company. You guys put out some great products. This just happens to be a bad situation, and I hope that we can get it resolved together. You guys, my information will be in the description. If you want to reach out, Corsair, I know you have my email, we've talked before. Let's get this solved. And thank you guys so much for watching, because without you guys sharing this with companies like Corsair or bringing this up to other companies, this issue would go unacknowledged, and that's the important thing. I just want to make sure that people are seeing what's happening so that if you're running into the same issue, maybe you can fix it yourself. In the meantime, let's get our customer CPU ARM made, and hopefully by that time, we either have a new BIOS or we're just gonna have to switch to another motherboard. As always, I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one.